Let me just say, the perfect movie to me, there's 3 genres of movies. They're my favorite. 1, any heist movie. I love heist movies. The best. Number 2, it used to be vampire movies. Then the Twilight series came out and it was okay. Like, I'm not a hater on it. It got a little too 90210 for me. I'm kind of been moving into more zombie movies. The other genre that I love time travel. Back to the Future, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Was it Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure or was it Journey? Adventure. I never put that together. Party on, dudes. That was a great movie. So the perfect movie, a time travel zombie heist movie. It will be the Titanic for every generation. Best movie that ever will be. As soon as I'm finished with the 100-Day Adventure, I think I'm gonna start working on a script. Hello, Adventure. So not all sequels are great to movies, but hopefully this episode is a great sequel to when we talked about Contactually. And so I wanted to get into some of the more advanced features to be able to help you take this and supercharge the relationships in your adventure. Because the best friendships are through shared adventure, but the problem is over time, we can start to lose contact, and Contactually helps us do that. So let's go and revisit some of the settings on how we can extend Contactually to help accelerate our relationships. Okay, so we left off in our settings and we showed you how to connect everything, but I also want to connect a few other things that are pretty cool. So the first one is, after you connected your email address, and you might want to connect a few of those. I connected Twitter and I can connect the rest of those later. I'm going to jump down to calendars. And what's nice is that I've connected it with my Gmail calendar. What my Google Calendar will do is it will say, hey, if you want to be reminded of these 3 people, instead of just an email or logging in, it is going to actually chart those and put them on my calendar so that I can go, oh, these are the 3 people I need to follow up with. It's going to be based upon which relationship is fading. The other thing is I want to show you here up in the apps. When I go to the apps, I can connect it with my Google contacts. If I go into my settings, I can even decide which ones, if I make a change, will actually be updated back to Google. I also have mine set up with MailChimp. So what happens is I can create a bucket and throw somebody inside a bucket, and it will put that person automatically in a MailChimp list, so that when I want to organize these contacts and I put them in my different buckets, it's also saying, well, put them in different email lists, because you want to maybe email people that work for a nonprofit. You want to send them an email that's different from entrepreneurs. Just a couple other things. So the first thing is email templates. So here's some default email templates. And so I can edit these templates. So for example, let's say that I want to have an introduction between 2 people. Pretty easy. I just have that called as an intro template, and I say, hey, you 2 should meet, and I put person 1, person 2, and if I want to take a look, Michael meet Dwight, Dwight meet Michael. What it's doing is it is filling that information to save me time. It allows me to then be thoughtful of put something that is customized, but instead of having to really type out every detail, it will pull that in for me. Those templates become really great, and you can create templates for anything that you do regularly. And what's great is it even have a template library. One of the things that I really love is article sharing, because influence equals relationships times value. And so part of the value that I add to relationships is I don't want to forget about somebody. The value that I add is different articles. So as I come across like a really cool website or something that I'm using all the time, so what I do is if I come across a website, it basically is like bookmarking it, but the bookmarks are here, and I can even write a little bit of an intro so that when it is time to follow up with somebody, because I can add value to say, well, I haven't talked to them in 2 weeks. What am I gonna talk to them about? Oh, well, here's some really cool articles that would add value to them. So if you go up to our top navigation, so this is a standard sales pipeline, but it's pretty simple. I mean, I can edit these, add different things, and figure out like what your stages are. I had initial contact, and then that can move to, hey, I moved from initial contact to, hey, is there an opportunity here? To, hey, let's actually try to get a meeting, to let me get you a proposal to let them be a client. This can be from your dog walking business to you work with a nonprofit soup kitchen. It is about you have a relationship with people and you're trying to move them to believe in your organization. You see, for me, sales is just the transfer of belief from one person to another. You are just having a pipeline on how to transfer that belief. The last thing I'll show you, and this gets really, really nerdy, is if you do want to create programs, this is just something that I was doing kind of for fun, is what I can say is, hey, I'm going to call this the adventure program. And what I can say is, hey, step one is I want to wait 5 days, and then I want to message them. Let's say I put them in a certain bucket that I create. I then will say wait 5 days and then send them an email, and I can even have the template ready to go. And I want to require my approval, right? I don't want it to just happen automatically. But then what I want to happen is wait 7 days, and then I want to actually, I'll do a customs task is a phone call. And then I want to say, then let's wait another week, see what happens. And then I want to actually move them to an actual bucket. And then that bucket kind of takes over. This becomes a really cool way, is that if you want to make sure that there is a consistent way that you're following up with people that isn't just kind of the sales pipeline, but more of a program, that is a really great way to do it. Last thing I want to show you is I want to go into contacts. This is where I can start to see, hey, I want to see everybody that is on the adventure team. And so it just is going to show me the 3 people that you saw me just add, and it even has the last time I contacted them, but saying, hey, they're all green. You have a strong relationship with them. But I can even say, hey, show me everybody that's just fading. I just can toggle these on and say, hey, look, your friend Neil, like that's fading there. Or what I can say is I can add special tags. I can go to companies if there was a certain location. Say I want to see everybody in Orlando, Florida that I have inside that location. And even I can say, hey, I want you to show me everybody that I have synced to MailChimp or to Twitter or who I have from Google Calendar. Just when you really want to start getting into some advanced things, which is episode covers, this is a way for you to really start to organize so that you can even decide where and how you're going to bucket it. And again, you can bucket from almost any screen, which is great. Those are some of the advanced features. Okay, so do not get overwhelmed with all those settings. I was just kind of opening up the horizons, and some of you were freaking out. I was just trying to give you, in our first episode, the basics of how it works. You don't have to put any of these settings in place. You can come back and watch this episode. Become familiar and comfortable with the basics, and then add on some of those advanced features. Here's what I know, that if you want to win, you have to do it by helping people. And so your influence is relationships times value. Contactually is going to help you to stay in contact with those relationships, but also add tons of value. I'm excited for you because this will supercharge your relationships, which is what powers your adventure, and your adventure begins right now.